What's going on out there? It's August 25th. I'm Frank Curzio. It's the Wall Street Unplugged podcast where I break the headlines and tell you what's really moving these markets. So today is interview day, and I have an awesome guest, first timer. His name is Brian Breach, CEO, founder of Make Me Viral Media. Might be saying, why is his company called that? It's a pretty cool name. It's because he has more of his videos that have gone viral through social media than probably anyone you know. One of the most sought-after social media marketers, he's done a TED Talk, been on the front page of top magazines, featured on just about every major media outlet you could possibly think of. And to be honest, when I interviewed him on Sunday at the Palm Beach Crypto Conference, I had no idea who he was. But you know who did? My nephew, Joe, who I took with me. He said, Frank, this guy's awesome. I follow him. He's smart. He's real. Has tons of followers. I said, okay, I'll interview him. So we did at this conference and a few of the past conferences that we had. We set up a whole studio booth, and it was pretty cool. Looked awesome. The big banners, the ones behind me now, you can see on our YouTube page if you want to see my ugly face on video. But I really had no idea who he was. So when I started talking to him pre-interview and getting to know him a little bit better, I noticed something right away, that Brian is different. Well, he's different from social media personalities. I mean, he wasn't arrogant. He didn't seem like he was seeking attention, which I saw from many people who were like, oh, I got a big following. It wasn't that. He's not telling everyone how great he is. No, he was humble. He was cool. He was super smart. After we finished the interview, it was cool. But Joe was like, oh, thanks. And he came over, he was like, thank you so much for following me. I really appreciate it. And he followed me and followed Joe. And that's how you connect and you build your network and everything. But he was just a really humble, cool guy, which not only humble, cool, but super smart. You're going to see it in a second. He just breaks down simple ways you could increase the odds of getting your videos to go viral to where millions of people will see you, which is your brand, right? Which every company, every business wants. So enough to build up. Exciting interview. And here it is. My interview with Brian Breach. I'm honored to have Brian here. Listen, I know you sought after, everybody wants you, and I really appreciate you coming by. One of the things I love about you, and I want you to introduce yourself, because I'm going to do a terrible version of it, and I want to make sure we get the whole audience in here, because a lot of people do know you, but people who don't are going to follow you, because it's really incredible of the motivational things, where you come from, where you are now, and how many people want to follow you. But talk about what you do.
Oh, thank you so much, man. So it's funny, these days I barely know what I do anymore. I'm kind of all over the place. So what do? I'll give a long story short. I come from the music space. I was a hip hop artist, got to open up a lot of major artists. I had an independent label, super fun. We had a hip hop blog called Get That Paper Son. Towards the end of 2016, early 2017, I put out my last album. Then I hit a wall. I'm like, what am I going to do now? I don't want to do music anymore. I love it to death, but I'm just pumping money into it. I'm not getting to where I want to be. So I literally stopped making music, and I made a conscious decision to start shooting viral content and comedic content. I wrote on a whiteboard saying you have 1 year to go viral, and I would just experiment and see what would happen. Midway through that year, I was given the opportunity to do a TED Talk, and at the end of the year, 5 days or 4 days before the year was up, one of my videos went internationally viral. Now,
define viral.
Viral. So define viral. When a video, so some people may say a video that hit 60,000 views or 100,000 views. No. My particular video got picked up by a news station, and I thought it was just going to stay on local news. I'm like, all right, I did okay with this one. I'll move on to the next one. Yeah. All of a sudden, for the next 2 weeks, I'm getting calls from Fox, CNN, MSNBC. It got put on the one of the main homepage of Snapchat. I mean, it was everywhere. Every news station in the country picked up the story.
How many people did it end up? Do you have that number? Like how many altogether?
So with this particular video, I couldn't quantify the amount because of the fact that it was on the news. So, for example, every local news station picked it up almost in the country. So it was very hard to figure out, all right, this one had 100,000 views, this one had 100. But I do know it got me a ton of opportunities. And with the mixture of my TED Talk that I did midway through the year and the video going viral, I started getting asked to be on hundreds of podcasts and TV and radio and so on and so forth. Now, the craziest thing is, after my TED Talk, I thought maybe I get a couple speaking gigs here and there. I had a friend, and he calls me, he goes, hey, I want you to speak at this glass house mansion in the Hamptons. I'm like, you don't have to ask me twice. I never even been to the Hamptons. And he goes, what would you speak about? And I'm like, well, my TED Talk was about how to survive without a job through failure. He goes, what else could you speak about? I was like, I just had a video go viral. He goes, that's it. I want you to teach people how to go viral. So all of a sudden that turned into a thing, and I started speaking around the country about how to go viral. So what do I do now? I have a marketing agency called Make Me Viral Media. I'm an influencer, entertainer. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been running businesses for quite a while, and I haven't had a 9-to-5 in almost 12 years. So yeah, I'm all over the place. I do everything, and I spoke here 3 or 4 times at the Crypto Connect event.
No, that's awesome. So I feel like the younger generation, I feel like I'm an old man now, but the younger generation, they all want to be popular. They all want to go viral. What do you tell them? Because for me, and I love having this conversation, because you can be like, no, Frank, you're 100% wrong.
Right.
Is going viral more about you, or is it more about knowing what your audience wants, or is it just, hey, I'm going to be true to myself and do something? I mean, there is a formula, and we'll break that down in a minute, but when people come to you, I would imagine everybody in here wants what you want to go. They want something to go viral, right? But at the end of the day, what is success for it? Like, how did you, is it the hard work? Is it putting it in, or is it just knowing, hey, you know what, you really have to be real, you have to have a certain personality to it?
Right. I'd rather you be true to yourself when going viral. For example, there was this guy, he used to literally hop over the McDonald's counter and steal their fries. That's just, you're doing things to go viral for a really stupid reason, I feel like the things that go viral the most are comedic content, informative content. So if you're somebody that's putting out specifically informative content, those have a higher chance to go viral. The stuff I was shooting, it was kind of, the one that really went viral, it was something that was giving back. I ended up handing out like $500 bills while people were, shopping at Target. And it's something I would have done anyway, to be honest with you. I've always
learned a lot, right? Yeah. For that, I mean, that's got to be like heartfelt, like. Yeah. Like, holy cow.
Oh, it really was. Yeah. I did other things leading up to it. Like, I literally walked into a mall pretending to be famous, and I hired fake bodyguards, fake paparazzi, an SUV. I had actors that ran out to me. Oh my God, it's Brian Breach! And within 20 seconds, I had 200 people in the mall asking for my autograph. That was like my first taste of anything that may have gone viral. Yep. And then I stood outside of Target dressed as a homeless guy, and anyone that walked by, they gave me $1 or 50 cents, and they offered to help. I'm like, look, since you helped me, and since we're caring enough this particular day, I want to give you a $100 bill to go shopping at Target. That ended up, getting amazing responses. I had a guy hug me and say, this is such a teachable moment for my child. And, somebody was crying. He goes, I'm going to take this money and pay it forward. And then I used that video to raise money for, underprivileged youth. And I gave them money, presented them a check. Cool. So it was beneficial in the long run. And it turned into something that created so much opportunity for me. But it wasn't just the opportunity that was created. It was because I kept the momentum going of the opportunity. It wasn't so simple as, okay, I have a viral video. Now I'm the one-hit wonder of viral videos with Vanilla Ice. Literally, there was follow-up by mine. There was momentum, and I kept going, and I kept shooting videos, and that's what you have to do if you want to keep the momentum. We're going on 3 years or 2 years since that viral video, and we're still going. I mean, things are still moving, and people don't even remember the video anymore. It's just because I've done so much after.
Now, I talked to you offline. I heard you over there talking to other people, and I speak to you now, and I also saw you on video. Right. You're the same person every time. Yeah. How big is that? Because I see people, and I've been in media for a long time, where I grew up, Jim Cramer ran his research department 5 years, and I was there when we were picking up buttons for a show and stuff like that, right? And you see the difference in people. I saw a lot of people on Wall Street, when they get on TV, they're different people. But it seems like you're being even true to yourself. Does that make it easier for you compared to other people doing it?
First of all, thank you so much for saying that. That means a lot. It does, because I am genuinely this way. It's just how I am. I believe that you should lead with who you are. It's important to me. So I'm engaged. I want to learn about people. I want to speak to people. So I've had people say all the time, I see your social media and I talk to you in person, and I literally thought you were going to be some douchebag. I'm like, I feel like, honestly, a lot of what you see on social media, again, and this is a cliche way to say it, it's the highlight reel.
Yes, exactly.
They only see the ups. They're not saying, you know what I do on a regular basis? I change my cat litter for my one-eyed cat.
Yeah, I know. My daughters too. Like, they're like that. They tell me I got to tuck them in, and my wife's yelling at me. I'm like, I'm a real guy, man. Right. I wish it was like this. I really wish what you see me as is that's what it was, right?
Exactly. I'm literally folding towels, cleaning dishes, mopping my floors, and sometimes I forget. There are days that I forget who I'm not saying who I am, like I'm somebody,
I know what you mean,
but like I forget that I've done all this stuff outside of here because I'm literally like, cleaning behind my toilets, But yeah, you have to be genuine, and I've always felt that way, and I like putting my all into everything I do and when I speak to people. So awesome. I feel like you got to be genuine in what you do, and don't have these fake personalities and be one person one way and one person another.
Exactly. I'm saying, man, you got to be true to your character. So
I don't want to say there's a formula, but there's a way to increase your odds of something. Say
Correct.
you take me as an example, Curzio Research, we have a video and I'm like, okay, I want it to go viral, right? Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain things you were telling me offline where, look, you don't really, and I even said that to you, you don't really know because you don't know what people like and don't like. It's so weird. This dumbest thing goes viral sometimes. And you're like, why is this viral while you're watching it 10 times?
Yeah,
Like, why do people see it? And you're watching it 10 times, like almost contradicting what you're saying. But there's also certain things that you could do to increase those odds, right?
100%. So, like I was saying before, if you're at a party, someone throws up in a pool and someone films it, there's a high chance someone's going to post it and it's going to go viral. Someone throws a shoe with a president said, the George Bush reference, and he's ducking it, it's going to go viral. But if you're someone that's shooting informative content, there is tips and tricks and strategies to going viral. For example, Instagram Reels and TikTok specifically will favor your video and put you in a higher algorithm if somebody watches the video. It could be 7, 10, 15 seconds. Everybody has a very low attention span these days. So if somebody watches a video and clicks out in 3 seconds, and you can go right to TikTok and see your stats. It shows the watch time of each video. My most viral video that hit on TikTok, a couple million views. I wasn't big on TikTok. That had a high watch time, 30, 35 seconds. You'll get pushed in a higher algorithm. So that's number one. Number two, whatever default picture you use, as the clickbait stopper, or whatever you want to call it. Let's say, for example, you make a face like in the actual video. You want to make sure that face is 30 seconds or 40 seconds in the video, because if they're watching, if they're going on your page and they're saying this and they're clicking on the video for that, you want to wait until they get to that part of the video. You don't want to put it right in the beginning. Oh, they already saw what they came to see. Yep. They're clicking out. Yep. But you want to wait until they're watching it for a full 30 seconds at the end.
Something simple.
It's also the way you word things. Now, I'm not saying wording things is going to make something go viral. It could. But you have a girl on a beach, right? She's sitting on a beach and she's like, in a bikini on a beach. She'll get 30 comments, 40 comments. But if she writes something like, hey, I'm out here in a bikini on a beach. What beach are you guys at today? What is she doing? She's engaging her followers now.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have people saying, well, I'm at Fort Lauderdale Beach. Oh, that's awesome. And then she commented to that, and that's going to create a whole nother thread. Oh, I'm at Miami Beach, and then a whole nother thread. So there's certain things you do. Now, if you do these things in every single video, every single time, or you come up with a hot topics. For example, one of my clients is a crypto lawyer. Amazing. She represents a kid who's a crypto millionaire still living in her parents' house, and the parents don't know he's a millionaire.
That's fantastic.
So that's such an amazing topic. So you want to come up with those topics that can go viral. So what I want her to do when we shoot the content, she's going to put the text over the video stating something like what it's like representing a crypto millionaire and his parents don't know. That's going to go viral over I represent a kid that lives with his parent. It's the way you word things, the hot topics that you're going to make people click the video. So if you implement all these strategies consistently for a year, over and over, like you said, the odds are going to go up that one of your videos is going to hit. And when one video hits and gets to 20 million views, that elevates all the rest of your content. So if you had 10,000 on one video and this one hit 20 million, that 10,000 is going to turn into 70,000 views now because they're going to check out all your videos.
So I love the motivational aspects where you talk about, I feel like you talk about failure is more than success, which is cool. You identify with people because, we're not perfect. I think we all love to see that, right? Even Mike Tyson's a good example of that, right? Who are some of the people that motivate you?
Some of the people that motivate me, what's weird about motivation is that I find motivation in everything. So I don't have like a go-to person. Yes, throughout history, I read certain books, we all read Think and Grow Rich, but the 10X, Grant Cardone and all that stuff. But there's no one specific person that motivates me. Do I have my go-to figures? Yes. What motivates me is certain things that I see around. Something very simple too. Kid you not, sitting in a parking lot the other day, I'm looking down and I'm seeing like a mom duck and I'm seeing like 10 baby ducks. They all hop up the curb one by one. And I'm looking at the last duck. Hops up, falls back down. Hops up, falls back. They're all sitting there waiting. And I'm sitting there cheering this damn little duckling on. I'm like, get up that freaking curb, bro. Get up. And he hops up the curb, or she, whatever it is. And that little thing motivated me. I'm like, if this duck can sit there over and over and get up this curb, I can do it. Or I had I used to work with this woman named Rebecca Burdine at my last 9 to 5 in 2008. She had cancer while we were working there. And with breast cancer, she outworked everybody, right? She eventually passed away, which was horrible. And it wasn't her funeral. We went to her house for, talk about memories of her. And we got to take a little thing home. And I took this little elephant and I put it on a shelf. Every time I look at that elephant, it reminds me that if this woman can outwork all of us with cancer, and mind you, at that time I was probably 27, all the energy in the world, and she's killing me. Like, she's blowing me out the water while she's going through chemo.
Yeah.
I can do anything in this
I know.
life, you know?
And for me, it was when I went to college when I was later, like 28.
Right.
And there was a class that we took that was, speaking engagements and stuff. And some guy was stuttering.
Right.
And he actually went up there and I was like, and for me, that was like one of the most motivational things I could see. Like, this is a guy that's actually trying, and I was like, whoa, I was like, that's powerful. Like, to me, I got the chills. I'm like, wow.
It's hugely powerful. Like, if he can get up there and not have that fear, and public speaking, being in front of people is the greatest fear of everyone, you know? If he can get up there and do it, why can't I get up there without a stutter and do it? No, it makes total sense.
So, all right, let's get to Metaverse, Web3. Yeah. You're at this conference. What are you looking to see at this conference? What has you excited? I know you spoke at the conference, but let's talk about that.
So I was on stage a couple times yesterday. I had such an amazing panel. One of it was why NFTs are here to stay, or the power of NFTs. The other one was music evolution of NFTs. I got to speak to the founder at Comic-Con, Gareb Shamus, which is super cool. Hearing what they're doing. I'm just excited about it in general because I know it's the future. I see it blowing up. Everybody I know is in the space. The metaverse is going to be crazy. I mean, there's going to have concerts in the metaverse. I come from the music space. I want to see how
you saw Travis Scott. You saw the numbers on it, right?
It was insane.
Holy cow, 20 million he made on that. They said 20 million. And you look at Lady Gaga, you know better than me. A million a concert. Like some of these guys, you can go a little higher than that, but 20 million.
100%. And what makes me excited, because I come from somewhat the era of the transition between the label grabbing someone off the street, polishing them, putting all the effort into it, owning the masters, taking all your residuals, giving you the upfront payment. You have to pay that back. To social media, where you don't need the label anymore, where you are the label. Yep. And as long as you have a good social media following, they will come and they'll give you millions for jumping on their train now. Mm-hmm. Now with NFTs and the metaverse and being able to, put out your music as an NFT, not only with social media combined with the NFTs, you own it all. You don't need a label anymore. So I want to see how it blows up. I want to see how it continues the growth. And I'm excited for all musicians and artists and things that are going to happen in the space in general,
So that's what we're creating a movie called What the F is a Metaverse, because and it's not a Curzio research project, it's a Metaverse project for everybody, because what we've seen in the last year and a half, I think a lot of people think it's just video games and stuff.
Right.
And what's interesting, if you ask 100 people, you get 100 different versions of it.
Right.
So if you had to define it maybe as simple as possible, what is a Metaverse to you?
You know what? Everybody talks about the metaverse like it's almost like this is a new thing. I look at and it's not even an older game, I look at Grand Theft Auto, I look at Call of Duty. We were technically in the metaverse. And to be honest with you, some of the metaverse's graphics these days aren't as good as, your Call of Duty. You're playing with people all around the world. In a sense, that's a metaverse. But the difference, in my opinion, is that now you can make money. That's where my difference comes in. So yeah, you're on Call of Duty, you're shooting people, you're all around the world. You're in this amazing space where you're playing army, you're playing war with everybody. Now it's different. Now it's more you're interacting, you're talking, you're hanging out, you're doing parties. There's billboards up, there's advertisements, people are performing, there's concerts. It's people are gambling in the metaverse. So it's in a sense been around, but I feel like now it's kind of blowing up a little bit more and it's taking on a different identity and a different form.
That's cool. So listen, I took up so much of your time, I keep going and going, but I won't. But I love the fact when I interview people, they always try to pitch you don't pitch anything, and so I'm going to give you a chance to pitch. If someone wants to find you, how can they find you and your company, man? Yeah,
make sure you follow me. My favorite platform always, Instagram, Brian Breach, BRIAN BREACH. I almost forgot how to spell my own name. And my company's name is Make Me Viral Media. I'm a marketing company. I help projects go viral, entrepreneurs go viral, businesses go viral in a sense, getting you on major publications. We do all social media management, all content creation, put you on billboards, create your e-course, help you create a podcast, anything that could blow your project up at Make Me Viral Media on Instagram.
Brian, thanks for coming.
Thanks buddy. So much.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Guys, great stuff from Brian. Like I said, smart, humble, real. And it's probably a tribute to his background. He didn't go too much into it. He said he was into music and things like that, rapper, but he was born to an abusive mother, and he has this on his profile. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sharing this. That passed away when he was like 13 from AIDS, and he quickly learned that, those emotions and everything, his experience, he could, use them in rhymes. And that's how he got really popular. And just getting to know him over that period was pretty cool. He was really impressed with the interview, by the way, which is always my goal when I talk to someone or interview them for the very first time. He's like, that was amazing. That was great. It was awesome. And it's something I'm always proud of. But the tips that he gave, they're about triggering the algorithm to where Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, they're going to put it in front of more and more people and everyone and more groups of people. More people share, right? That's what you need to do. But there is a formula behind this. I mean, of course, like you see, you do something stupid and crazy. Yes, you can go viral. You're going to go viral for the wrong reasons. But there is a formula behind this. And I didn't know that either. And I interviewed Dan Held, who is a longtime Bitcoin owner, right? Kraken, one of the original, people, 2010, 11, just incredible background. And had a great interview with him. He was saying, I have about, I think it was like 12, 15,000 Twitter followers at the time. And he goes, hey, I figured Twitter out. Because I talked to him on the phone like a week later. I was helping him with his newsletter business. And, he was talking to me about different things. So marketing. He's like, I got Twitter figured out. He's like, I already figured out Facebook. He's like, now I figured out Twitter. I'm like, yeah, right. And I think it went from like 12, 15,000 to 250,000. And I looked like it must have been 2 months after the interview, and this is last year. I just looked at his account now. He has 625,000 followers. There's a formula. And I could tell you, the things he posts about Bitcoin, it's just a simple little post. It's not a big deal. Not really educating anyone, but it's a formula. Whatever happens is more and more people pick up. You got tons and tons of comments, which I definitely agree with Brian. You want to be engaging and talk to people and ask them questions, and that's how you get the back and forth. And Peter Schiff's a god at doing that. He just, pisses people off, but you got people who get pissed off, and you get the people that follow him. They go back and forth. That triggers the algorithms, and that's why he has a massive following. From the marketing end, I give him a lot of credit. Just wish he cared about his people more than himself when it comes to making money. But there is a formula. And Brian has got 122,000 followers on Instagram, 35,000 on Twitter, 27,000 on TikTok. Massive amount of big names of Web3 follow him, work with him. Very popular voice. Just get bigger and bigger, his presence. I see Curzio Research doing business with him in the future based on our conversations, which is very exciting. But when it comes to his podcast, Wall Street Unplugged, I always say the same thing. This podcast is about you, not about me. So let me know what you thought of that interview. At FrankCurzioResearch.com. That's Frank at CurzioResearch.com. That was one of more than 25 we did in a 2-day period. We've got another 25 or 30 before that at a conference in Vegas, getting a lot of footage for the Metaverse movie that we're creating, which I'm very, very excited about. And the demand, and that's what we're setting up. Like, we actually had a banner at Curzio Research that said Metaverse movie. And man, almost every one of the people that we're interviewing, massive, massive followings. I mean, altogether, it's got to be probably 10 million plus, if I had to guess, that we've interviewed, and just all on board, willing to share it. They're excited about it because, we want to bring, this isn't a Curzio Research project, we want to bring just the Metaverse that we see, that I'm seeing right now, that nobody else is seeing. That just believes it's video games. It's not a big deal. You're going to understand why it's a big deal. You're going to understand why all these big companies, these major companies, who are the gatekeepers of the internet, are the ones spending the most money, billions, to get into this market. Invesco just started a $30 million fund just now, came across the wires, to invest in the Metaverse. All, not some, all the major retailers are going in with a Metaverse strategy. Some are already there. And you're going to see it as more and more Metaverses pop up. They're going to be open Metaverses and closed Metaverses. When you see the technology, when you see what's going on, when you see the meeting space, when you see what you could actually do and why it's a better experience and ownership of your own content, even through NFTs or anything else for the first time ever, you're going to see why there's such excitement that everyone from Gen Z to millennials, which are now 40, are just going all in on this. They're all in. This is their time. This is why Bitcoin was created. They hated the system. Now everyone who's listening to this, everyone who posts on social media, we all know through COVID and through the last election cycle, you don't own your own content. You don't own shit. So we're going to bring this to everyone and show everyone exactly what is the Metaverse, why it's going to be massive, and most importantly, how to make money on it, how to position yourself. Got a lot of people following us, really, really cool stuff. Going to this conference is a lot of work. Yes, I'm tired, but I'm not going away for a few more weeks. Now I'm going to start putting this together, and you guys will be the first to know about it once we launch it. And man, a lot of people coming up through the big networks and streaming platforms that are like, hey, I work with these guys. It sounds like a good idea. So let's see where it goes. But I do know it's going to give us a lot of attention, bring a lot of names to our list, which I'm happy about because a lot of people I think we could help, especially within these industries. And a lot of these people are going to be buying our products as well once they get to see us and learn about us and see how real we are. So, and how good our research is. So very, very exciting times. That's it for me. Hopefully you really enjoyed that interview. Really appreciate all the support. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Yes, you're going to see me tomorrow if you own any of our subscriptions for Frankly Speaking. That's podcast. It's not on iTunes, so you got to be a paid subscriber. Even for our service, Dallas Club's $4 a month. If you have that, then make sure you listen, because Frank Speaking is a Q&A, and we'll go into details. We'll answer your questions. Send me those questions at frank@curzioresearch.com. That's frank@curzioresearch.com. And for those of you who are not subscribers, then I'll see you all next week. Have an awesome weekend, and take care.